This is the story of the tallest tower mankind has ever built. It is the story of the engineers and workers who built it, half a mile high. It is the story of the men and women who live and work inside this building. A story told deep behind the scenes.
This is just an evacuation drill?
No, 92 is not done. Make it 100, please.
Tonight, there are no mistakes. This is money.
Full of excitement.
No, I said not to bring everything because I don't have storage space.
My friend, we have people here. Fast, fast.
And a story rich with glamour and emotions.
We're very, very happy people.
Opening a restaurant is like falling in love.
Look at this Burj Khalifa. We are very, very proud of this building.
This is the exclusive story of the Burj Khalifa, the highest building on Earth, the world's first true vertical city. The city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. For centuries, it has been a small trading port and pearl fishing town on the shores of the Arabian Gulf. But during the last few decades, the wealth generated by the region's oil reserves and the determination of its leaders to make Dubai an important city has created a magnificent boom. In 2003, close to 200 skyscrapers are finished or under construction. Now, the ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, gives a very simple order: build the highest tower in the world. As with any other construction project, work on the highest building in history starts with digging a hole, a very big hole. It's only a few months since Dubai-based developer Emaar appointed the Chicago firm SOM. Their project architect, Eric Tomic, is on site from day one.
It's a little bit counterintuitive, but the building does not have foundations that go down to rock. There isn't a lot of rock here in the desert like you would find in New York City or various other geological climates. We use what are called friction piles. And the friction piles are drilled down into the sand and soft rock, which is down there. And these friction piles develop their load-bearing capacity based on their dimension and the length. And they're about 45 meters deep and generally about 1.5 meters in diameter. And there are about 200 of these piles that are drilled down into the desert soil.
The desert flower, Hymenocallis, inspired the shape of the tower's foundation. The shape makes it easier to build hundreds of meters into the sky. And so while they're already building, the team, under the lead architect, George Evstathiou, and their client make a bold decision.
At that time, the brief for the tower was to design a tower that's 550 meters, which would have been just slightly taller than the world record holder at that time, which is Taipei 101. We learned as we got into the project that we could go higher, and after talking to the client, there was a desire to go higher and not only break the record by a little bit, but to really break it by a big margin.
Once the foundation is laid, the tower grows at maximum speed. The site is humming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We had about 100 people, architects, engineers, designers, and so on. But we had 12,000 people on site every day at the peak.
There is a new floor every 3 days. But the higher you go, the more problems you face. The biggest is the desert wind.
You can't build a uniform tower of uniform dimension all the way to the top, because this creates some very bad wind effects on the structure.
When the terraces work up in a certain pattern and create a helical trace up the building, and the building is not symmetrical, then the wind has much less effect on moving the building about. When the building goes up, it's an asymmetrical structure, and it creeps and shrinks a little bit asymmetrically.
When building the world's tallest structure, every centimeter counts.
And when they cast the concrete, we needed to know where the center of the building was. And if it's always moving, it can be quite challenging. So the contractors set up 3 different GPS stations on the ground and a GPS station at the very top of the building where the concrete was being cast every day. And through triangulation, they could actually measure through GPS what the nearest approximation of the center of the building was. And finding that, they could plumb and center all the parts of the formwork and cast the concrete in the right place every day.
The panels of the exterior wall are a major design challenge. The glass has to reflect the heat, but let the light in. And they have to be absolutely water, sand, and windproof.
The workers are pulling the panel from level 16 where we store the panel and taking it up by the hoist. We have around 200 panels in each floor. We expect to be finished from level 19, 20, 21 within 2 weeks' time.
In July 2007, the Burj Khalifa breaks the world record at 512 meters. It is now the highest structure on the planet. But this is not enough.
Well, we're now at level 156, which is the start where we start seeing steelwork coming above concrete. There is some steelwork already cast into the concrete to give us the foundations for what is essentially a small Eiffel Tower. The steelwork is not fabricated at ground level and lifted up. We lift it up here and then do all the lifting into position and bolting.
In only a few weeks, the tower will be finished. But there is one final task, and it's not easy.
The erection of the spire, which was one of the trickiest things in the building to build, and one of the last things, was quite interesting in itself. It's a 300-foot pipe, basically. And how do you get a 300-foot pipe up on top of a building like this?
The solution: cut the pipe in 25 pieces and lift them up one by one. The building has reached its final height, 828 meters.
It's a pretty nice moment to see this happen. We've been waiting quite a long time to see this occur.
We did it!
It is a proud day for Dubai and for the region when Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum inaugurates the Burj Khalifa on January 4th, 2010.
It was like such an emotional moment for me just to think about the journey that we had just taken and realizing what we had just done. It was such an intense 7 or 8 years that we worked together that when the building was unveiled and the spectacle that was here made me cry.